Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Rail Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Are you just fiddling around with me or what?
I just want you to feel you're doing well. I hate for people to die on bad. You're quick.
A good thing, too.
Were you wearing a mask? Were you burned by acid or something like that?
Oh, no, it's just they're terribly comfortable. I think everyone will be wearing them in the future.
And welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio. My name is Josh Corey, and by God, it is Friday, my dudes. We are thrilled to be with you, and let's just jump right in and say hello to the fellas. Starting off with one Mr. Zachary Zabala. You may know him as Good Times for All here on the YouTubes. Zach, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, Josh. Hey, Walt. That's crazy. How did they know that everybody is going to be wearing masks?
That's the Dread Pirate Roberts. You don't question the Dread Pirate Roberts.
It's inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
Oh, wow. Yeah, doing good. Happy it's Friday. Feeling a lot better. A little bit better every day. I'm almost back to normal now.
Good, because I was a little worried about you. The way it just popped out of nowhere made me a little nervous.
Yeah, whenever anything's going on the inside there, it's kind of weird. It's not like a cut or a broken bone or something like that. And not wanting to visit a hospital right now, that kind of double made it, a little bit more nerve-wracking.
For sure.
But yeah, we got through that one. There's a plan for me yet.
There surely is. Let's say hello to one Mr. Walter Johnson, or there on the YouTubes, he's known as Flat Earth Head. Walt, how the hell you doing?
Fiat Lux, Josh, Zach, Scouts there in chat who I'm trying quickly to type away to. I've gotten a few of you and I missed a few. I'll get there. We got Zach back, and I am just like you on that one, Sir Josh. I was concerned for our buddy because that dude's pretty stout, and it takes a lot to get him down. So, yeah. And while I know he had busted his ass for the Nodells over, for years, but over the last few months, for damn sure, with all the things going on in the world that could have been contributing to his lung health, that all stacking up at once was concerning. So, yeah, glad it all worked out. Prayed a lot. I know that sounds like just platitudes. You hear all that, send your prayers, but dude, truly love you and was worried about you, brother. Glad you're back.
Me too.
Thanks, gentlemen. Yeah, I felt it. It's amazing. It really is. When you know people are out there worried about you, you can feel it. We're all connected through this, whatever you want to call it. Higgsfield, ether, whatever you want. Yeah, I love you guys. Love you all out there too. Thank you so much.
Well, we love you too. And I'll be damned if it ain't Friday, my dudes.
Friday, my dudes.
It's Friday, my dudes.
And I must say, it's a pretty exciting weekend for me. So, Dixie and I have been on the house hunt. And last weekend, we found one that it's a really good house. It needed some updates, but it sat sort of in the city limits, and it sat on a 2-acre lot. And 2 acres for inside the city limits, even for the neighborhood, it's like one of the largest lots around. It was nice and secluded. There was lots of privacy. Sat off the road. There were lots of things I liked about it. Only two acres in the city limits were the things that I didn't particularly care for. I wanted something bigger, something more secluded. But it's close enough to Dixie's work that she wouldn't have to drive far. It was close to her parents and all of her friends that she'd left for all these years. So there's a lot of things that Dixie liked about it. And for what was on the market at the time, it was probably the closest thing to what we were looking for. So we decided to go ahead and put in an offer on the house. And all was good. We came home. We relaxed, chillaxing in bed. And I'm just flipping through the damn realty apps. All the ones that are out there. And there was a new listing there. Little bit out of our price range, comfortably. But it was basically what I was looking for. It's on 4 acres, still not enough for my preference, but twice as big as the other one. But it was off out in the city limits. Nice and secluded. Just the faint hint of the highway, which I guess in this day and age, it's almost hard to escape anywhere. So I'll just have to take that for what it's worth, but it's out in the woods, and the house was gorgeous. So she's looking through the pictures, the listing. She looks over at me, she says, I almost want to just put an offer in right now. The listing came up on Tuesday. Showings for the house didn't even start until today. Today is when they start showing for the first time this house. Then there's an open house on Sunday. But it's sort of an old farmhouse, originally built in 1938. But then the inside is been updated, so it's nice and modern. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. She says, I just want to put an offer on this sight unseen. I don't want to let this go. So we called a real estate agent, had them withdraw our original offer on the other house, just to put an offer in on this house that we have not even seen beyond the listing on the interwebs. So that was it. We went yesterday, and they encouraged people to come take a look, at least walk around the property, walk around the outside. So we went on Wednesday, I guess, and did that. Took a look around and walked the property. And yeah, just absolutely fell in love with this house. So we've been spending basically ever since then making sure our I's are crossed and our T's are dotted, so that when we do put an offer in, it will ideally be the most appealing offer that they have. So that come Sunday after the open house and everybody's put in their offers, they will see ours and hopefully jump at the chance. So basically it's, for all intents and purposes, a dream house for my wife and I. We just have to wait and hope that the creator comes through and does the things that he needs to do to make sure we get this house. hopefully he wants us to have this house because we sure would like to have it.
It's done, dude. Start saying thanks. Start being grateful for it already. That's the secret, because it's done. It's done. I feel it already. It's the path of getting to it, the way it happened. Yeah, it's done. Like Daz, everybody in chat, they're all sending the energy too. So,
Yeah, if it's meant to be, you'll get it. You'll get it. If there's some crazy reason out there that you shouldn't get the house, then you won't. It'll present itself. You guys are good people. It's not. I don't see you guys getting kicked over.
Well, she just checked with the loan officer, and her credit score has gone up several points since the last time they talked. So we went from an FHA loan, which is not very good, to a USDA loan because it's so far out in the country. You can actually it's going to be like a rural farmland loan, which requires then no money down. And it's a lot more appealing of a loan for us than is the FHA loan. There's less restrictions, no money down, cool things like that. So fingers crossed we'll get the USDA loan, and that will allow us to bump up our offer and more easily fix anything that may need to be fixed on the backside. I don't know. I'm excited. It's going to be a long motherfucking weekend waiting for this shit to go down. But we're still undecided if we want to actually go and look and see the inside. Because showings start today, we can go tomorrow and see the inside. But I think we both decided that we don't want to. We don't need to. We know we want the house. I can't think of a single thing inside that's going to be the deal breaker. So at this point, me going inside is just going to make it harder for me on the off chance that for some reason somebody else gets it. I mean, they're going to have to bid basically way outside. I think we've gone about as far as we can for what the property's worth. Anybody that wants to outbid us will just have to start off upside down in their mortgage. So, all you bastards back off and just let us have our house. So that's been my week and what I expect for my weekend. Other than that, it's been really good, really calm. Work's going good. I don't know, all kinds of good stuff.
I am getting ready for Flattoberfest.
When and where is Flattoberfest, Zach?
It is in Greensboro, South Carolina, October 24th.
Is that a link I see in our description, Joshua?
Would you believe it?
Perhaps?
Flattoberfest.com.
It's in the description on YouTube. I will include it in our show description on TFR later today.
If you head on over to the Karen Beats channel, you'll see some really cool promos that she's got up there too for Flattoberfest.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm going to put something in the Twitter Scouts. I'm going to let you guys pick what we're going to be showing, Cammie and I. Because with the Vandegraaff and all the different toys, there's a lot of different things we could do with the gyroscope, the Vandegraaff. I mean, the mirror scope is pretty, we know what we're going to do with that. But there's a bunch of different, tests and observations that we can make with this stuff. So I'm going to make a list of them, and I'm going to let you guys decide.
How interactive can it be, or do you want it to be?
I'm going to let people turn the knobs and cranks and...
Because, man, letting them experience the miroscope temperature and that needs to be
holding a light bulb up to the Tesla coil and, just lights up right in your hand.
Right, yeah, definitely take it to the 5th grade science fair level if you can. Get everybody involved.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're planning. And I need to get some... I'm going to print out some things and laminate them for in front of each different thing, just to have so if there's multiple people up there, Cammie and I are trying to talk to 10 different people at the same time, there'll just be like a little piece of paper with pictures and telling you what it is and what you're observing and yada yada yada, and yeah, it should be cool. Starting to get nervous. Yeah, the conference was horrible, man. Trying to put those videos together and all that stuff. I'm glad we're not doing videos.
It does get stressful at times, for damn sure.
Editing is I just don't like video editing.
I don't either. I thought I would love it because I love movies. I love watching behind the scenes about movies, and the idea of assembling it all was always something I thought I would be able to just jump into with both feet when I had access to the tool. And probably having the real tools to do those real things would be different than struggling with some of the programs I've struggled with, because unfortunately I didn't know and bought some of the worst video editing programs probably around out there early on, and just that probably tainted me for it, and it just is, oh, it's so tedious, and I'm such a perfectionist, and that's most of my problem with it. So
yeah,
by the time I get to the point of it, I don't know, with music it's fast, the creativity hits, I'll pick up my guitar and I'll just start playing a riff and take that riff and build a song around it and do things. Art, same thing. Daz knows. It comes out, it flows out, it happens. Almost instant gratification. But video editing is so long of a process that when you get the inspiration, by the time you've gone through, or at least for me, and I'm sure it's just like guitar, if I've developed those skills and practiced those skills and, flexed those muscles and calloused up those fingers on the editors, I'd probably be as smooth on that as I am on the guitar, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot
There's
to be
some
said.
amazing people out there, though, that do so much, it just gets like, oh, I can't touch that.
Right.
It's great stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoy it, even though I don't know what the F I'm doing. When you hit a cue, when you're editing video and you're going back and you're just sort of looking at what you've done and just giving you that brief overview, making sure that everything's just the way you want it. And the sound comes in and boom, your video hits right on the beat and everything's clicking and pumping. You're like, damn, I killed that shit. It's awesome. I love video editing. I just don't have the time because I'm so stupid and don't know what the hell I'm doing with it. It just takes me forever. And then I've wasted 12 hours sitting down here on my ass. It seemed like 3. And I've managed to edit together 15 minutes worth of video that I actually like. And I've got another 4 hours to go. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just not good enough. I'm done. And I just go upstairs and I leave it because, damn, I don't have the workflow. I don't have the knowledge. There's just a whole bunch of things holding me back. But I'll be damned if I don't enjoy trying, at least.
And I enjoy trying. Don't get me wrong. I guess I really talked it down too much. It's just a different set of skills that I haven't become comfortable enough with, I guess. And again, there's that instant gratification thing of just picking up a guitar or pulling out pencil and paper. Or, I don't know. I never thought I'd like to write and type and all that thing I do with the show descriptions, and sometimes I get really creative and carried away with those. So you never know. You find your creativity where you can, I guess.
Yeah, wherever it may strike. And I'll be damned if I don't have the vault open. I've got so much crap to get going in the morning. I just need a checklist or something. I need a NASA go, no-go checklist. That's what I need. But I'm in there now, so.
Well, on the good part of it all, I'm on it. So.
And Rio's in there.
I've got it up.
Good morning, Rio. Good to see you there. And good morning to everybody over there in the YouTube chats as well.
Good morning. I see our buddy Kelly is there trying to learn the ins and outs of the TFR chat as well somewhere.
Pardon. So we are up to 3 patrons now on Patreon. So you're all aware.
Thank you. I did not know we have acquired a third there.
We did.
Of course, now,
Liz, the Iron
being,
Maiden, is now our third patron on Patreon.
Nice. Thank you, Liz. We are being a little, I don't know, misbranding this, because we've had people helping and supporting us for a long time.
Yes.
For a long, long time. We just recently, actually, finally got the freaking Patreon account thing set up correctly or whatever, because we thought it was up for the longest time. I thought it was just like on mine on my Flat Earth head. I did that like way back when I first got to that 1,000 or 1,500 or whatever you got to have subscribers to be able to set all that shit up way back, and set it up, thought it was done, and just like, okay, if it happens, it happens. Went back to check on it while we were doing ours on that Friday when Kelly was pumping us up and getting me all like, we're going to make this work, and found out mine had been discontinued, or not that, but they had put it away to a special little place because it was concerning them. They were doing it for my safety, and I guess because it never had any access or anybody trapped, anything, so they just had it on standby. It really wasn't active. So probably the same thing happened with ours. I know we both played around with it, trying to get it all set up, and thought it was. But so recently, we've actually gotten the Patreon account working and got it set up. So we now have 3 people who are there, but we've had long-time supporters, Liz being one of those.
That's right.
Our buddy Pav, who we miss dearly. Pavlo, you just don't know, friend. Really are going to be pumped up to see you back in the mix again, and hope things are going great with you out there. Indeed. And I know I'm forgetting somebody, damn it.
Liz says she was just going back to listen to our very first show.
I bet that was interesting.
I bet that was interesting. That's not necessarily something I feel like I could do.
Now, this first show on Ironworx, I think, was pretty awesome, because we had our buddy Rob here, and he and I had both jumped in both feet on the... Wasn't that our first show on the Las Vegas planned event? Yep. Or am I wrong?
No, you're right. You nailed it.
That was. So shout out to Rob, too. Miss you, friend. Wish you were back in the mix as well. I know things got a little complicated on the bottom side of things down there, and apparently it's getting even more draconian and crazy and weird. So miss you, though, Rob, for sure. Yep. Every time I get bit by a muzzy, I think about our buddy Rob.
Yep. Well, I'll be damned if that doesn't just leave us less than 4 minutes till break already.
Hey, cool.
So that's been a segment.
It has.
The first one.
It has been. Well, we both were throwing things around there in the lettuce pile. One of those being the fact that Princess Bride, we're talking about everybody wearing masks in the future. I mean, yeah, predicted programming, possibly. Really off the wall comedy, most likely. Been around, come around.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that was a predictive program.
Right, it never felt that way either. It was just kind of funny that it suddenly came up and people are like, oh, but yeah, I mean, as we've seen in the 1918 pictures and shit we found and shared here and on our Having a Sphere show, there's nothing new under the sun, people. This was not really a hard prediction to make. What's upsetting is that we all didn't see it coming from what goes around comes around and the fucking 1918 thing. Sorry. Already cussing, and it's only the first segment. Damn.
Does anybody have a peanut? I knew you guys would get it.
Yes.
But
we have a
Andre passed away, right?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, he did.
A while back.
Wow.
An amazing gentleman.
They said he could... Man, he would hold a 12-ounce can in his hand, and it was like holding one of those little, like smaller than the 8-ounce Red Bull for us. You know, it was like he could put his whole hand around a 12-ounce can like it was nothing and drink it and like, and then it'd be gone. He'd drink a case of beer like it was nothing, just couldn't even imagine being that big.
Sorry, don't mind
Wow,
me.
sorry, I got totally sidetracked trying to play catch up on a little story that our buddy Daz is sharing with us in chat. Man, you ought to give us a call and share some of that on the air if you feel like it. That's completely up to you. And Kelly wants to know, have we watched her cell phone blow up yet? We have not, because I haven't. Is that a link to a email I haven't read, possibly?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
So then I will watch that sometime today.
Make sure you head on over to Hal Fuckery channel and watch her cell phone blow up. I posted a link to the video. Mr. Bill, the SIM card goes camping. They're in chat. So,
nice.
Actually, it was a voicemail. Hal left us a voicemail. And I listened to it last night. It was cracking.
Well, we're going to have to become more attentive to people's things if they're going to actually be in contact with us through this new system of things we've set in motion. So I will set that as a damn it, I will do it.
And that's the
every
rub.
day.
I silence my phone because we are on the air so much. I don't like my phone just going off randomly.
Yep.
And the catch there is that anybody that wants to try to contact us, my phone's been silenced.
Yep.
So I don't know that you did.
Yep. All right. Absolutely. Same thing here. And the other side is that, trying to keep it from aggravating the business while I'm not engaged with the family here. So it's a hard line to walk. She does have a lot of patience.
Anyway.
Yours as well. As all of them. We'll shut up and we'll be back and pay some bills on the Ironworks.
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Hey folks, guess what the #1 phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death. This is Uncle Walt from the Ironworks. Josh, Corey, and I have chosen to look at life with no fear. No fear of the unknown. No fear of questions about the supposedly well-known. No fear of ridicule for thinking outside the familiar fool's lines. No fear of the boot on the neck of those refusing the party line. No fear of taking on those so convinced of their beliefs they would sooner drink the Kool-Aid than believe they've been fools made. In this world filled with me too, cattle think. Truth's protective layers be peeled back to show the tender, juicy pink? Are we all just grist for the mill? Souls sold against our will, or is that just how it just feels? You're filled to the rim with trivialities so fear-filled and grim. Break clear of the fear right here. Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 a.m. on TFR. Josh and I and you will hammer out the impurities of technology-driven groupthink, fold in a dash of logic, and quench it all with a bit of absurdity. The Ironworks. Break clear of the fear.
Real people, real radio. Wherever you are, Make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
The iron you need to get what you want.
Welcome back to the second segment of the Ironworks right here on Truth Frequency Radio, broadcasting across the plane. Also be found on YouTube and D-Live and Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, there's a few other places. We are re-streaming the hell out of ourselves this morning, but it seems we have been joined by a couple of guests already. That's right, we have more than one. I see Unkuleleko Duma has joined us here on the call. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, Duma. How you doing?
I'm okay, guys. How are you guys holding up?
What's going on, Nuka?
What's up, Nuka Luka? How you doing, buddy?
Just quickly, guys, I had a little update, which is why I hopped on the call. I just got back from gym. I thought you guys might be interested to know. Yesterday, we had a speech from our president, who coincidentally, when this thing started, met up with Bill Gates and all those kind of people. And on the announcement, they were releasing some restrictions on our movement and that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But the curious thing is they've now created an app. It's called COVID Alert South Africa. It's on Play Store. I don't know if it's on Apple. I've seen it on Play Store, and a friend of mine who makes apps was reviewing it as well. And Walter, I'll send you that video. You can play it tonight for the Friday night show. It's like 8 minutes or something. And basically, what the app is for is it tracks. So if they encourage everyone to download it, it's free. So it tracks who has been tested for COVID and hasn't. Now, when this was all happening, when announcing it, everyone's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And immediately I thought of China and its social, what's that thing called?
The credit score?
Social experiment thing. Where,
the social credit score?
Yeah. I just thought, how long before they decide if you lean differently politically or you do something that they don't like, the app is also used against you? Because you'll see in the review, I mean, it tracks all information, links up to Bluetooth and all that. It tracks absolutely everything that you do, well, including the thing if you were tested or not. And if you were tested, if you have been exposed to COVID, as they say, it will give you an alert that you are in close proximity to somebody that has had it.
Yeah, that's some scary stuff.
And people are downloading it.
Here in the States, they've even gone so far as to create a whole new business, a whole new segment of the economy that revolves around hiring people to help to contact those people that test positive. These contact tracers, which is like the app that you're talking about there, that does the same thing.
And then they keep an eye out
that's
to see
one of the
who
other
you
functions.
come close to. Yeah, if you come within 6 feet of somebody who has COVID, you're now like on the list as someone who should be tested.
Yeah, that's what it also does as well, because it's interconnected to everyone. So if you come into contact with somebody, now there's that trace thing where they have to, where you've come into contact with that person, and now you need to be tested, and you have the app, so they know that you've come into contact with that person, and they know where you live because it also has your location.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that, I leave my phone in my vehicle when I go somewhere. It never goes with me anywhere. Just for that reason. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. So someone here in the house watched this movie. Haven't seen it yet. The Social Dilemma or something like that. Maybe wrong. I'll get the title right in a minute. But it's talking about all of the interconnectivity and all the tracking and all the apps that listen to you 24/7 all the time, not some of the time, constantly recording, picking up keywords, pushing videos, pushing commercials, pushing products, shaping your psychosis from dopamine overloads and all this crazy shit that we know is going on. Haven't watched it, but I was told I definitely need to watch it. I know a lot of what goes on already, but it's kind of one of these things that we, and I say we because I am as guilty as anyone else, have let ourselves be convenienced, if that's a verb, into using these fucking apps because we're trying to edit. And I've got 5 things on my phone and 2 on a hard drive and 6 on another somebody's computer, and somebody's emailing me something. Oops, it's too big. Now I got to have a special app for that. And oh, they want my phone number. Damn it. Well, I guess they're going to get my number because I really got to get this thing edited and I need that video. And so suddenly we're just entangled in this web that is constantly reading all of our fucking movements, motion. You don't have to say things. Your fucking camera is recording it 24/7 as well. I can't tell you a time I've picked up a phone, mine, someone else's, and the camera app is open. They didn't leave it open, neither did I. It's always on. It's always recording. Like I said, I'm as guilty as anyone else. I play freaking stupid games, originally for health purposes, but now I play it strictly because I've loved the fucking feeling of the addiction of the game. I'm strictly loving that dopamine drop. So how do you get out of this shit? Putting it in a Faraday bag, it still can be read. There's all the techniques, there's all the shit we've read and tried, and it's pretty much like just go out somewhere
get
away
away
from. You got to
you
drop it
can't.
all. You got to leave it and go hit off the grid. That is it. That is the only way. Get away from it all. There's no, well, I'm just going to use a little bit of it for my own purposes, or use their tools against them, like we all used to say in the early days of Iron Realm Media.
Yeah, and it's not just your phone either. I mean, your toaster, your microwave, your refrigerator,
fucking fridge,
your stove.
your
In 1994, the head of the NSA
car,
came out.
Your car before all the smart screens and all the fucking shit. That car was tracking everywhere you went, dude. I know mechanics found the devices and showed them to me.
Yeah, in 94, head of the NSA came out and said, oh yeah, we're recording all of your ambient background noise, they called it. It's to help you, so we can figure out what kind of commercials we need to show you, and this and that, and yada, 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 and national security. But yeah, 1994, they were recording everything 24/7. Even if nobody's in the room, they're recording. Yeah, they didn't hide it. They come out and tell us this stuff. And then we're crazy because we actually listen to what these people are telling us. You go try to tell a normal person this stuff, but yeah, right, you're insane. My brother, he was military, 20 some odd years. So he knew a lot of the stuff that they do, and and it was one Thanksgiving when he had gotten back out of the military completely, and his eyes just kept getting bigger and wider every time I'd just mention something about it. He was just like, how do you know this stuff? I was like, they come on, they told us. He's like, yeah, but that was like C-SPAN. People don't watch C-SPAN. It's like, oh yeah, some people do. But yeah, the information's out there.
Scary world. Scary world we live in. And Flatty, I've sent you, dropped you the video on Skype if you want to check it out later. Where they're reviewing them or they warning people about the app. Some people that actually make apps around here.
All right, we can drop it. Drop it. I see where you dropped it. We can show it this afternoon over there before things kick off on our Have No Sphere show, which I missed things Wednesday because I lost a day. Hello. Reality doesn't work anymore. I don't know about you guys, but time has become completely irrelevant. And yeah, at least Cammie backed me up and said, I'm not the only one. Anyway, so yeah, it's something that we can definitely show this afternoon before other events may or may not be kicking off. I don't know.
Well, guys, that's me. That's all I wanted to say today. I'm gonna carry on listening and rest up. And good day, everyone.
Well, good day to you too, Duma. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate you hopping on. And then
Take care of yourself. Stay in touch. Love you, friend.
We have a very patient caller on the line. And I'm pretty sure I know who this is.
Yeah, it's Daz.
Good morning, Daz. How are you?
Good morning. I am doing good. Ready to do another normal 12-hour shift. And then I get the whole weekend off, and then they can kiss my butt because then it's payday, and I'm going to go buy some cool stuff, and life is good.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's energy, right? I mean, if we're, that's why I don't quite understand. It's like I think you guys understand the concept of energy, but when you actually put it into practice, everyone gets cold feet. It's like all you have to do is just follow through on it. Like the idea of the Patreon thing. It's like I'm sending energy. I mean, it's nothing. $10 a month is nothing, right? So I can send it, but it's the concept. It's the energy of the idea, the conscious, me pushing the conscious idea. I want to buy Josh a cup of coffee every month because why not? I can, and it's nothing. I send that energy. He receives it, and then whatever. The circuit. There's a circuit there of just that one tiny little thing, right? But then Josh says, "Hey, someone did something nice." He sends his energy because that's just how it works. Anyway, you want to hear about how I beat John Kerry in court?
Absolutely, man. I was trying to read it in chat and I was blown away. Please catch everybody up and let us know what the hell went down with that.
All right, I swear to God this is true, and I want to state before I say anything, they said I could talk about it after 10 years. It's way over 10 years, and, this is the best of my recollection. I don't have anything personal against anyone. I don't want anything. This is not for anything. I've never told anyone this story, and, okay, hang on a second. Yeah, all of a sudden I got nervous thinking about it, so I have not felt nervous in a long time, right? So basically, I had an audio-video company called Riverfront Media. You can look up. We had riverfrontmedia.com back in the 90s, right? And all through the 2000s. We owned riverfrontmedia.com on the internet. Suddenly, John Kerry decided to use that name. He bought riverfrontmedia.net, right? .net didn't put anything on there. So when the New York Times and everything, Washington Post, said Riverfront Media is making commercials for John Kerry, we were the only Riverfront Media with an audio-video company making videos on the internet. So we got his hate mail. People threatened to kill us and my partner's family. And so I wrote a website. You assholes don't, we're taking your hate mail, you scumbag. I was pissed. Someone could have killed us because of his negligence. And then, so we didn't get any response from that. Are you guys still hearing me? Am I still on?
You're absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I'm muted, so
Okay.
I'm over
All right.
my clock.
All right, so I'll continue the story. It won't take long. So, I nothing happened. I was like really scared. So, I I figured out the parent company of riverfrontmedia.net was GMMB, which is Greer Margolis. You know Margolis from Clinton? You know the word Margolis. That's that Margolis, right? The guy that's made every single Democratic commercial ever. You know, and bear in mind, I was going to vote for Kerry. I liked Kerry because there was a picture of him with John Lennon, and he...
Uh-oh, but now we've lost you, Daz. If you can still hear us, we no longer are hearing you, friend. I don't know if you accidentally may have... It sounds like you may either muted or hung up by mistake on your end.
I still see him there.
John Kerry doesn't want people hearing the story.
And now he's gone.
And now he's gone. I was thinking the same thing, saying like, oh shit, maybe this is a story he shouldn't have been. I mean, that was that nervous feeling he got. It was like, oh shit, this is it. This is the one they're going to take me out on. No, I was going to say, I'm sure we're going to call back.
There we go. That was weird. Just went quiet on us.
Hey, sorry, man.
No, it's all right. No worries.
Hey, so GMMB is the giant multinational corporation that makes commercials for Democrats. Guess who's on the board of directors? Newt Gingrich. You know, the Republican guy that hates Democrats? Well, he's the guy in charge of making the Democrat commercials. So there's the first clue that it's all bullshit, right? Newt Gingrich is the guy making Democratic commercials. He's a Republican, the other side. Anyway, so since they had GMMB.com, I made GMMB.us for $5. Thank you, GoDaddy. And I put a picture on there that may or may not have been a part of my anatomy, and I said, John Kerry can suck this. And then, all of a sudden, I'm walking to my apartment from the same job I'm doing now. Bear in mind, the same job. This is a long-ass time ago. I'm at a call center right now. I'm doing a call from home, blah, blah, blah. And so I get a summons, and it says, you know, you're going to be sued for $500,000, you know, for defamation, right? Yeah, I took his hate mail, and I'm suing for defamation. I thought, oh, God, that picture. And I mean, I had already changed it from the picture of supposedly, allegedly of my anatomy to something else, to a nice explanation. By now, we were like in full-on Walt and Josh mode here with all the legalese. We tried to get a lawyer, for God's sake. We couldn't afford a lawyer. I mean, it's, you know, I don't know which movie it was where, was it Jacob's Ladder, where it was George Costanza as the lawyer, and he's like, wow, I can just see the fact that you came to me shows that you don't have a chance. That's the lawyer we got. Did absolutely nothing. One lady said, yeah, I think we can do something with this. You've definitely been wronged under the law. I'll need $10,000 up front. Really? I wrote to the Los Angeles Times saying, hey, John Kerry is using my company's name. We're taking his hate mail, and he won't do shit about it. Yeah, so I made this website, and I didn't mention all the things in there, but I made him cry. Oh, my God, dude. I made his lawyer cry and beg for fucking mercy because I would not give in. I said, you have to tell the world you're not us, or there's nothing. There's no deal. There's no settlement. I don't care what you do. You're in the wrong, and I will never give up. I was pissed. I was scared. I thought I was going to go to fucking jail, you know, and everything was, you know, I thought I was fucked for life, so I had nothing to lose, right? I went full on Martin Augie on him there. So they eventually said, okay, we'll do a settlement. Look, we'll just drop this. So we'll make riverfrontmedia.net a real website. Thanks. Well, about fucking time. So they made it a real website. Said, we're not affiliated with riverfrontmedia.com. And then when he failed in the election, of course, because he's an idiot, and then, I'm sorry, alleged idiot. So when he failed in the election, they just immediately dropped their website. It was immediately gone. There was no statement. It was just completely over. You know, meanwhile, there's still residue out there that some psychopathic Republican might just wanted to kill someone affiliated with Kerry anyway. They never apologized for the fact that we could have fucking died because of their negligence. We settled in the law office where my mom was a paralegal at one point. Went in there, and the guy sat down and said, hey, here's the deal. Do you agree not to talk about it for 10 years and drop it if these guys put this statement and use their own goddamn website? They're like, yes, that was the whole point. Done. Over. You know, got a piece of paper, and that's the end of the story. The Los Angeles Times refused to put it in the paper. They said no. Bob Beckel, the Republicans, wanted this. They wanted to use this as meat against Kerry, but obviously someone pulled their chains because the story immediately vanished. It never fucking happened. But Riverfront Media, John Kerry, Bob Beckel, I don't even know how his name spelled. I'd never go there otherwise. But, that's it. It's there if you want to see it. True story. All right. Done ranting.
That's awesome. I bet that really was a scary position to be in, having the full weight of the government bearing down on you.
Yeah, and then he goes to Antarctica, right? And the best thing is you see on the news stories, John Kerry fell off his training machine. Was it John Kerry? Someone beat him up at some point. And so, I got there. The universe gave me my revenge if I needed it back then. I'm a whole other person now. I would never even care to do that. I just completely, utterly ignore them. Anything about masks and that shit, I have absolutely I don't have anything because I pay zero attention and give zero fucks about it. Yeah, I'll just put on a mask. And you know why I put on a mask? Because my nose is so sexy that they can't handle it without the mask. I have to cover it for public decency. And that's the only reason. It flops loosely. It's like, I deliberately, sometimes I'll just smear paint on my face under the mask just so it just looks weird because I'm just having fun with it because it doesn't matter. What are they going to do, kill me? Just kill me then. Just get over with. Throw me in the camp and kill me. I'm done. But other than that, until you do that, then fuck you. I'm not playing in your system. I'm going to manifest, financial abundance so that I can do my art and help my friends and bring good vibes to the world. And that's it. Everything else, I don't care. Just, if it's fear-based thing and it always boils down to, and then they'll throw you in the camp and then they'll kill you, then just cut to the chase. Just kill me now. I don't have a gun. I don't have any way to defend myself except the fact that I'm not going to manifest that reality. I'm manifesting a peaceful reality where we're all going to be financially abundant and just live in cool houses and grow our gardens and, talk about growing cucumbers and stuff instead of having to talk about masks and shit. Sorry, that's my mask rant. Done. I'm over. I will only answer questions. I will not ramble.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Dude, my God, the energy. We've got to figure out how to direct you dude, the way you're manifesting these things, we've got to figure out how to aim some of that over here at the realm, which you're already doing with your Patreon, and we love you and thank you for that. But man, that drive, that energy, that's definitely something that we all need a little more of, I think, in the realm. For sure.
I used to think I was weak and ugly and no one would ever love me and all these other bullshit things that I have absolutely no idea where that shit came from. The second I said, maybe this ain't true, and then just looked at it and said, why the hell would I believe that? All of a sudden, everything, the past changed. None of that shit ever really happened. It's the weirdest thing. You can change the past. So if you sit there dwelling on all your sins and your guilt, whatever guilt you have, just fucking drop it. This is a dream. Whatever's happening here, all you got to do is when you wake up and you're like, oh my God, what's wrong with me that I did that? Well, it doesn't matter. It's because this entire creation, we're all, this is the physical plane is the dream plane, right? It just feels like it's real, just like a dream. And within the dream feels real, right? But you're creating everything from your perspective, right? So it's completely solid and real wherever you are. But the further out from where you are, how your dog knows when you're coming home because there's that radius. So
right.
All the energy he can
I know
detect
because
it, right?
I watch it like when I'm at my brother's and he's at work. The dog there, she knows when he turns into the subdivision 3 miles away. Her whole demeanor changes, and it's obviously not a scent thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, it has to be energy. That's the only explanation that fits with the science that we know, the real science that we know, right? But we can't deny that quantum and this whole collapsing the wave and all that stuff, we can't deny that's not true. So
well,
when
I mean,
Alan says,
we
"Well,
just
I don't
did a story on time, particles, crystals, and shit. So, I mean, if they can manifest that, we can manifest going back and fixing whatever we need to fix. I fully believe that. And thank you for reminding me of that.
How do you do it? So your question is, how do you do it? What's the actual mechanism? What is the process, the ritual, the permission slip? What do you have to do to actually make it happen? Is the question where everyone stops. Everyone go, okay, I believe it. It's real. I know it's real. Here's all the proof that it's real. Okay, but how do you do it? And then it just floats around into whatever. No one actually gives you the solid instructions. Here's the solid instructions. One, just know what you want. Know yourself. Do you like pizza? Okay, well then obsess on pizza. Buy some fucking pizza. Know yourself what works for you. Don't say, well, if I eat the pizza, I'll get fat. No one will love me. It's like, well, then you're just ruining the whole thing. It's like, just bring it down to brass tacks. What do you really like? And just be honest and everything. And it doesn't matter. It's just a dream. It doesn't matter what you like. So as long as you know what you like, and then you can say, here's what I would prefer. Here's my life as it is. What do I prefer? It's like, well, I'm not going to become suddenly a famous artist and go to spirit cookings or anything. I don't want to be a famous artist, but I want to be able to create my art my way. So, it manifests because every time I get a paycheck, I buy some art supplies. I'm putting energy into the concept of what I want my preferential reality to be.
Thank you so much, sir. If you can hang on, we will be back in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, sure, man.
This powerful energy you're throwing that way. If you can't, thank you for calling. How's your buddy Daz on the phone? This is Ironworx. We're going to let you pay a bill or free. And Josh.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher Everard Show, The Covert Report with Susan Lindauer, Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barnes, Freaky Friday with The Woo Crew, The Gematria Effect with Zachary Hubbard, America's Evil Genius with Travis Cook, Phoenix Rising Radio with Phoenix, Quantum Connections with Lucky, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call in for the Herbert Show toll free at 833-TFR Live. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Joe Biden blames the president for every coronavirus death. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. The Democrat presidential nominee telling a CNN town hall meeting at a drive-in near Scranton, Pennsylvania last night.
If the president had done his job from the beginning, all the people would still be alive. All the people, I'm not making this up, just look at the data.
But even the Washington Post says Biden is making it up, reporting there is no data to support Biden's claim. Biden also walking back his claim Wednesday that he could, as president, order a nationwide mask mandate, saying he don't have authority on federal property. President Trump telling a campaign stop in central Wisconsin last night that hundreds of thousands of people could have died if he had listened to Joe Biden's opposition to the travel bans from China and Europe.
Biden was willing to sacrifice American lives on the altar of open borders.
And the president says 3 vaccine candidates are nearing approval thanks to a rapid response.
Levels that nobody else could have ever achieved, no other administration, certainly the last one, because the last one was grossly incompetent.
Coronavirus cases on the rise in Britain, France, and Spain, imposing new restrictions on gatherings, and in Israel, another lockdown.
It's the start of the Jewish high holiday season, but in Israel, this year's celebrations are decidedly muted. From today, the country begins its second coronavirus lockdown, with schools and many businesses closed. Prayers at synagogues are limited to small groups, and large family gatherings are cancelled. An earlier lockdown was lifted in May. Critics say that happened too quickly, allowing the virus to spread.
Fox's Simon Owen. Early morning Dow futures are trading about 30 points lower after a down day on Wall Street Thursday. Asian stock markets closing Friday higher. America is listening to Fox News.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard.
Wake up! Welcome back for hour number 2 of the Ironworks, starting right now. We
Hello,
are
everyone.
joined this morning by our good friend Daz Tartarian. You've got a website now with some artwork up on it too, don't you?
Yeah, DazTartarian.com. Somehow, in between doing 85 hours of overtime, I also made an art website with mind-boggling predictions. Oh, I know what the next thing's going to be. Okay, here's breaking news from the future. Breaking Ironworx news from the future. It's robots. Okay, these circuit cities, right? These are robots. It's like, why horse and carriage in Central Park and everything? Because they need the clip-clop, and they need the marching clomp-clomp. They need that rhythmic pattern going around, marching around the square. Sergeant Major marching around the square, right? You know, why? Why marching around Jericho to knock the walls down? Because something has to physically, an action has to be performed. You know, there's theory and there's action. You know, so if you want to manifest something, you have to actually put your foot forward. You have to buy the lottery ticket to win the lottery, right? You know, it's that theory. That's, you know, that's how it works. So, you know, if you sit there, you know, feeling sorry for yourself, then it ain't ever going to happen. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and just changing around and say, you know what, I'm changing all around. I'm a different person. It's a whole different parallel reality. I'm shifting from one reality to the next. My history's different from one second to another. It doesn't matter. So now I'm going to shift to the reality where I buy the winning lottery ticket. You know. But yeah, robots, that's the next thing. You'll see. Plain Truth will be talking about it a week from now. You know, those Civil War soldiers, I think some of those are robots. I think some of these domestic
Man,
people,
I saw you talking about that, and I have yet to dive down that rabbit hole. Please explain that one.
Is it robots? Okay. So you see in all these old movies and everything, like from the 20s and 30s and everything, where a lot of this shit seems to have for real happened, like the cell phones in the 1920s and the umbrellas, you know, that tell us why the superstition isn't a superstition at all, because the umbrellas were tech. You know, so you got to follow Martin to be on the cutting edge of reality like that.
I think the flags were tech too. The whole, we have to keep the flag up, and people were risking their lives to hold the flag as high as they could. I think on top of that flag was a video device, to where the people in charge could watch
were
the battle.
There to hide the original technology. You know, they put flags on top of the old Antiquitech, you know, energy collectors. But, you know, these buildings were put there to gather energy and to send specific vibrations. And then you need a vibration to go from one static vibration to another static vibration, so you need a kinetic vibration, like literally people walking from one building to the next. And it doesn't matter if you're a robot or a person, right? One person walking with the same amount of weight, on plain Earth, is going to make the same vibration. So if you have a horse, and the horse is always going to make a similar type of clip-clop, so if you have a rhythmic pattern, you can set up in a square or in some kind of pattern, then you're going to set up a vibration, a circuit, an energy circuit. Gee, energy! Who knew energy would have to come into there? So, and I think they originally had robots, because I don't think people were here originally. I think all these cities and everything, I think literally they're like the Chinese ghost cities. Somebody built all these cities, and then whatever, and then people came in. Oh, and the decorations, how Martin and all these guys are talking about how they put the facade on. There's the big stone buildings, and then they put the real elaborate facade, and they had like those corkscrew columns and all these little elaborate little swirly things. That's chi. That's to swirl the chi around. That's feng shui. That's Chinese 101. So Tartarian, Fusion, whatever, that's literally there to stir energy around. Energy, to stir energy around. Because think about it, light, the sun's going to do something. So if you have a bas-relief, a 3D type thing, the shadows are going to be different from one moment to the next. So literally, light, and what is light? Light is energy, right? So energy moves across the different shadows and concaves and little areas where it's not just a flat surface. So they can't have a flat surface because there's less energy.
That reminds me of that.
Oh, yeah,
I think
you want
it's
to know how
the
to
Mayan
manifest reality?
pyramid, that at a certain day of the year, the shadows line up on the shadows of the steps, and it forms the serpent in the middle. Have you ever seen that?
See, I think that's misdirection. That's probably true, but that's misdirection into saying, well, it's religious, it's ceremonial. It's always.
Oh no, I don't think that
religious.
had
It's always
anything to do with religion
ceremonial.
or ceremony. I think it was energy, pure energy.
It's simply you have more surface area. Solar cell, the bigger your solar area is, the more energy you're going to collect, right? So if you're trying to collect swirly chi energy, then you need more elaborate patterns. The more of it, the better. The more swirly areas where the light and shadow changes, then you get more of that energy. And it doesn't matter whether anyone's watching you. That energy is going to be there. But for ceremonial purposes, does the universe care that the planets all line up and you can see the sun through a hole in a pyramid? And the universe doesn't care. And people with religious significance behind it definitely care. And it's a spectacular sight, and it's meaningful, and it puts them in touch with reality and everything. But the universe don't care. That's man-made. That's man fitting into the pattern. But the pattern itself is the cities and everything. This whole plane is the cities were there before the people, basically. They had robots. They didn't need people. And then they're like, it'd be really good. What if some of us came down here? It's like, hey, we're playing Sim City. Look, it's like we discovered the physical plane. Well, let's build these buildings here, blocks, right? Lego. So they build all these things, and they're like, let's electrify it. Like you can do those Lego that have little engines, and you could set up train tracks and everything. It's like all these toys. This plane is just like a big toy box, toy trains, and we're digging tunnels in the sand, and we're making sand castles, and here's our toy soldiers and all this stuff. And then they're like, it'd be really cool. What if we miniaturized ourselves and we played in this land that we did? Okay, all right, hang on a second. Let's just do a reset here. Let's just throw some water on it, wash off the old crap. It's like, yeah, all my buildings, my Lego blocks are still kind of sort of there. It's like, yeah, screw it. We'll just build up over them. The end. Oh,
sounding awfully close to simulation theory there, man.
It's Sim City. It's Sim City. I'm sorry, but reality is Sim City. It was here, and then we miniaturized ourselves, and then we came in. It's Sim City and the Sims and all
Well, you
that.
definitely
And
have
it's
to
all
build the
about
land and
boring.
the city and the
soap
towns
opera
out
shit.
before you turn the little NPCs loose on there. And then, of course, once you get the NPCs in place, that's when you put in the playable characters. So, yeah, game design in theory does kind of go that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean, as crappy as that sounds, I mean, it's still, there's still a god and there's still parallel universes and all kinds of things to explore. But, I mean, physical, actual nuts and bolts, dirt and rock. I mean, this is a big Lego sandbox that millions of people have tromped over long before us. This playground was here long before us, before people even. Someone built the playground, messed around in it, and then decided to put people in it. That's what it looks like. That's the only explanation. You know what? Because you look at some of those old stone buildings, and those edges are sharp. They're so fucking sharp and clear, and you can see all the facade is like blown off, and there's like bullet holes, but the edges are so sharp. It's not even possible to even do that now. They don't even do that now. It wasn't made by us. I mean, that part is obvious. But I literally don't think any humans were here at all. I think the cities, were made by the creators before the creators became us. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, and all the marble sculptures, and I mean St. Petersburg in Russia it just screams that humans did not do this, especially not with the tech that they said they had at that time.
It's an art project. They got really good at perfecting beauty. I'm really freaking pissed that Tiepolo and Bernini and Michelangelo, Giorgio Vasari, you want to crack the art, you want to crack the code here, someone's going to do it. If I had time, I'd do it. You want to know where it all freaking started in art history? Giorgio Vasari. That's when whoever, the Phoenicians, the Jesuits, whoever did it, they wrote a fake art history starting there, and absolutely everything from around the Renaissance to now is flavored by that one set of artist lives by Giorgio Vasari. Total bullshit. It has to be. And you know what? I got a book on Bernini. I spent like $40 on one of those big art books. That's my big luxury in life, right? And it said, oh yeah, and this one guy, I forget his name, he spent forever trying to rebuild this dome. I'm like, oh, and then Bernini came in and he built the dome. And I'm thinking, wow, these guys are such great architects. And you watch these art history shows, and they're like, yeah, and in addition to doing all this amazing art, they were also this architect. No, you lied to me. They did not build the buildings. They definitely painted. Rubens painted. He's a Phoenician painter, and, spectacular, and screw the world if they don't like his art. But hey, here's my theory on art history, if you don't mind me babbling. All right, so I watched this documentary on Rubens. Peter Paul Rubens, if you don't know art, then you know him from the fat chicks. He paints fat chicks, right? But if you have ever even things, I know Walt knows that that's like saying Devo is whipping it, and that's all you need to know. It's like bullshit. There's way more to the story. So,
right?
Rubens painted these giant murals, and there's like life-size elephants and lions. It's like, that's what I try to do. It's like, I want to paint life-size lions because it's the coolest thing ever. And he just painted bazillions of them, like spectacular, grand theater paintings. And yet, all these other artists, Monet and, Lord Byron, and everyone in the world hated his guts. Like, his art was so offensive. And then they kind of boiled it down to, well, we can't handle fat chicks in art. That's like, that's not it. That is not it at all. This whole can't paint fat chicks, so you got to blame Rubens. That ain't even close to it. It's an artist. It's like saying, well, whatever. So there's some other reason, and I think the reason these other artists hate Rubens is because he's from a completely different set of people. That whole, it was the Baroque, and then it became, it was the Renaissance, and it was the Baroque. It's like, no. Rubens is like some other dimension, some other reset before them, and he was alien to them. The energy is alien to him. That's why they didn't get it. But, man, you can't say, look at this lion. Oh, I hate you because your lion is perfect. I mean, that's not even fair. As an artist, you got to give him credit for being one of the best ever, if not the best. Like Michelangelo,
He was phenomenal.
I don't even think he was real, but and my heart breaks. Okay, I'm gonna stop babbling. Hi.
No, dude, you're talking my language. I love it because definitely he is definitely stereotyped as the fat chick, as you said, artist, and some of his stuff is just seriously demented. Like I think it was
what's wrong with fat chick?
the head of the head of Medusa he did with all the snakes crawling away from her cut off head. That was just like, dude, that used to give me nightmares when I found it in an art book as a kid.
Right? Me too. Yeah, energy, man. I mean, have you noticed, though, in our day-to-day lives, we'll talk about this, and we'll be deep down the conspiracy hole, and we'll figure out the secrets of the universe, and then it'll be like, honey, you got to take out the trash. Normal stuff. It's like the universe wants us to be like Coronation Street, just an endless soap opera, this meaningless trivia and just drudgery.
See,
right?
I think
and
all of that is part
we're
of the bullshit. All of the like putting us in boxes and neatness and order and all that shit. Nature's not order. Nature's not neatness. Nature's freaking
barefoot hippie
beautiful
chick with
chaos.
dreadlocks, and flowers in her hair, and bells on her feet.
All right, hang on a second here.
is.
So, say everything went perfect and we all got $1 million and we all restarted our own world and businesses and everyone was happy and there was no assholes and everything. Okay, but reality, it would still be, honey, take out the trash. Because no matter where you are as a human, someone's going to have to take out the trash and someone forgot to do it the night before, et cetera, et cetera. So it doesn't matter the circumstance, how rich, how poor, whatever, wherever you are, someone's going to have to take out the trash because you're physical people and you create trash. And so then that creates the soap opera, the Coronation Street, EastEnders of, oh, you forgot to take out the trash. Hey, I stubbed my toe, and now you forgot to take out the trash. I'm having a shitty day. That's what the universe wants, that boring, mundane stuff like that. It wants that energy because that's a low point. And then it'll be like, oh, my God, I got this unexpected check. They refunded $100. Something. And then you're like, come on, honey, let's supersize it. And
I guess. I mean, I guess I see what you're saying in that is part of the mundane parts, I guess. But to me, see, I don't know. I just think that's the parts that drag us down and keep us from being the nature people that we should be. Because if I was eating fruit, I would be through with my fruit and chunk it into nature again, and it would become part of nature. I wouldn't have to worry about packaging or crap. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I want things to be when all this changes.
It wants the up and down energy. It wants that really boring, honey, take out the trash energy. And then it wants you to, hey, I got a $100 check for free in the same day. It wants that variation, that frequency between the low, hey, why didn't you take out the trash? And you're like, oh, fuck. And then you're like, oh, my God, I got $100 for free. It wants that difference, that crappy feeling, and you're like, oh, fuck, I haven't even had my coffee yet. And then, like, oh, my God, I got $100. It wants that difference.
It wants that electrical
the
potential
low and the
difference.
high, and it doesn't matter how
I get you, yin and yang, the push and the pull. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I can see it that way.
That's what it wants. It's like, how do you hear a clip-clop? How do you hear marching boots? Because there's noise, and then there's an interval of no noise between the noise. You can only hear it because there's an interval of silence. That's how sound works. At least that's what Alan Watts said. So you got to have the trough of the wave and the crest of the wave. It's the wave itself. It's the height of the wave. You want that wave to be surfable, right? You want the wave to be surfable, so you want a low, you want a high. That's why people smoke. That's why people drink, because, that next morning you feel like crap, but then you say to yourself, this is as good as I'm going to feel all day? Hell no, I'm going to feel much better. And then you ramp up and then you feel good again. It's the people that just stay even, like, well, I can't drink coffee. It'll make my blood pressure rise. I can't watch violence. I can't have sex and dance and smoke pot and everything. It's like all these people that try to stay level. It's like, I don't want any change in my life. Those are the people where life, they don't live. you got to have that up and down. You got to take some risks. You got to have some balls, and you got to have some faith. But you want that up and down. You want that risk of falling off the fucking skateboard if you're going to be able to have some fun skating, right?
Right. This is the same argument I have with my brother every time I'm in Oregon, because I'm over there, enjoying the dispensaries and waking up with some coffee and going hitting the freaking espresso machine at the awesome 15 different coffee joints. And he's like, dude, you just need a lot of high maintenance. I don't want to have something that gets me up and something gets me down, something to keep me even. Something. I'm like, what? You just want to be a straight, boring line all your life? That's what you want to be? Just a hum? I don't get that. I don't want that.
The universe
I want
won't
the peaks
let you.
in the valley.
It won't let you if you try to flatline your existence with no changes and minimize all the highs and lows. Like Prozac yourself or whatever. Then you'll get in a fucking car wreck. The universe will force a gigantic spike. You want to keep that spike up and down on a regular basis, so it doesn't have to make a gigantic spike because it feels like you're flatlining, literally. Hey, let me tell you how to manifest reality, right? So you set your intention on what you want. I'll use my employment situation as an example because you guys were there. I said, hey, I called in and said, fuck, I just got fired, right? This couple of months ago, like the beginning of the summer, right? And then I'm like, no, it's a neutral circumstance. I'm not going to worry about it. Here, universe, here's what I want. I want to manifest financial abundance. Work from home and do whatever. I don't care what the job is what I said. And so the universe found the simplest way to make that happen, right? And I collapsed the wave by doing what it took to get my old job back through the new company. I lost my job because the company that did the outsource work switched to a different company. But then I worked for the other company. That's the simplest way to do it. So anyway, yada, 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 it worked. But I still had to work my ass off to do it. I had to put a lot of sweat into actually making it happen. All I said to the universe was, give me a chance. And it opened the door, and I looked for the chance, and I took the chance, and it worked. And that's why I did all that overtime, because the universe gave me that chance. I feel ungrateful if I don't take the chance. It'd be like, okay, so, I don't know where Alan is. He's at his appointment or whatever. Okay, so Alan walks into the doctor's office, and there's a hot, cute chick there, right? And she's got like an anime T-shirt on and, no bra. And he's like, oh, my God, this is my dream girl. But then he goes, oh, but she'll never like me. He does the Ringo thing. Oh, she'll just frustrate me. From Hard Day's Night, Ringo thing. So, or he could say, this is it. I asked the universe, hey, find me the perfect girl. And then he goes, hey, I'm Alan. I'm into anime too. Let's go smoke weed and fight. And yada yada yada. Live happily ever after. This cut to the chase there. But I mean, that's how it could be. But it only takes your attitude. If you go in that office, oh God, no one will ever love me. I got a pimple, no one loves me. Then it just won't happen. You don't have the confidence. So you have to make the choice. So I officially give you permission to get over whatever, shortcomings you think you might have. You're starting over. It's a whole brand new universe. Beep. Whole brand new universe. Your history is completely different. You can make your history whatever you want to be. You were always pretty. You were the hottest chick in school. You were the best. You were the smartest guy or whatever. Your history is now that. And, and now your reality now is based on that history. So, get over any baggage. And, just tell the universe what you want. I mean, do you want financial abundance? Well, then don't expect to just win the lottery and complain until you win the lottery. Just say, hey, and then when that opportunity to get what you want comes up, you just have to collapse the wave. You just have to physically move. You got to clip-clop. You got to march down the fucking square from one building to the next to make the reality different. Okay, and then, be grateful about it. Say thanks. It's like I didn't plan to work 85 hours of overtime on, in addition to 40-hour weeks, but I did it anyway because it was there, and I'm not going to do it forever, but, anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I love it, my friend. I love it. We need to get you here at 4 a.m. because you're better than coffee, dude.
Right on. Yeah,
No doubt.
I
I get
actually
pumped when
started working at 4 a.m. every day for the last 2 weeks. But screw it, I'm not working till 7 a.m. Central. I'm doing 7 to 7 Central, and that's it. They can kiss my ass. I can't do anymore. Sorry.
No, I hear you, man. I hated those, even 10-hour days when you do 5, and I was doing 6 of them, and that it gets on you. We only get 1 day off, and you're trying to take care of gardens and working the 10-hour days. Yeah, that gets old real quick, real quick.
I know. I was having fun growing my cucumbers, doing nothing but just growing my cucumbers and watching videos and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like now I got to be inside most of the time.
Yeah, whereabouts are you in the northern part, southern part of the country?
Midwest.
I'm in central Illinois.
So
I'm
you get
about
pretty cold
I'm about
winters.
4 hours east of Josh.
Alrighty. Yeah, it's a pretty part of the country right there, central Illinois.
It sounds great over there.
It's
I've
the
looked
flattest
around in
part
that
of the
area,
world,
looking
you
at some of the
understand
old Antiquitech in the area.
I know Southern Illinois has got some really cheap land.
Southern Illinois is totally a Tartarian city. You know, remember the rumors? It was like Alexander the Great made his way there and did all this shit in the cave. And, it's like, no. Giant City, that was a city. Giant City was a Tartarian city. It's one of those ones that was turned into rubble, or petrified or whatever. But there was a giant palatial city right there. Where the state park is, or whatever the state park is, the big one down there, Southern Illinois. I used to go to SIU, so I know the area well.
Hey, Des, we got some break music, so we will have to pick this up on the other side. That was another fast 30 minutes.
Right on.
Anyway, this is the Ironworks with Walt, Zach, and Josh, hanging out with our buddy Daz Tartarian this morning. Even had a call from Unkalaleko Duma earlier. We'll be back.
Discover the extraordinary powers of intuitive healing with pain transmutation, a method of holistic healing for the human soul, body, mind, and emotions. If you are looking for answers and a deep understanding of how to help yourself and the people around you to live a happier, healthier life, this is the right place for you. Learn how to read your soul's history in the Akashic Records. Remove negative energy attachments from your astral body and start the process of inner and outer pain transmutation. Join Pain Transmutation Community to get started on the path of intuitive healing. Change your energetic state, manifest new and exciting experiences, re-energize your life, and build inspiring connections with others in our community.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at naturesyouth.com. Naturesyouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at naturesyouth.com. That's naturesyouth.com. That's naturesyouth.com.
Hey everyone, it's Mark Sargent from Strange World, broadcasting live every Tuesday evening, 10 to 12 Eastern, 7 to 9 Pacific, right here on True Frequency Radio. Strange World covers a wide range of topics, from enclosed world theory to lunar waves to the end of the world in film. It's basically doomsday with a silver lining. With the audience as my co-host, we take an optimistic approach to all things conspiracy and promote confidence, hope, and humor whenever possible. If there's a topic you want us to cover or a guest you would like to see interviewed, please email me at msargent23@comcast.net. So please join me and tell your friends about Truth Frequency Radio, the leader in real radio programming, bringing you quality, cutting-edge broadcasts from around the world.
You are now tuned into the Truth Frequency.
Your protection from deception. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are the way. We are the way. We are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset, start taking iron today.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It needs more guitar. Just saying.
I need more cowbell.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Welcome back to the Ironworx. Walt here, Josh floating around somewhere, probably prepping himself for work.
Oh, he's
Zach is back, and our buddy Daz Tartarian is on the phone. Is that you, Josh?
Yeah, I'm here.
I knew you were. I got you, brother. Just so you know, Daz, I don't know if you're in chat or seeing chat, but our friend Jay says, this caller is awesome. So shout out, brother. And I totally agree. I'm glad you called. I'm glad you're hanging out with us.
Yay. You know, I feel empowered. I get the energy. And hey, Walt, thank you so very much for introducing me to the work of Martin and all those guys. My life is so much, it's what I waited for my whole life. You know, this whole mud flood Tartarian thing. It's the absolute best thing ever. It's everything that I ever needed. I don't need another conspiracy, but I'm sure tomorrow I'm going to find out that something weird happens. It's Godzilla. It's like, no, we're all slaves of Godzilla or something. I'm like, oh, God, I'm down the Godzilla hole, but I don't even want to look at anything else. It's like, flat Earth, got it, understood. I don't need it anymore. It's like, I got it. It's flat. It's a creation. You know, the Tartarian thing. It's like, I love art. This is all I ever wanted to do was paint like freaking Michelangelo, but chicks, right? I want to paint, you know, naked chicks like Michelangelo quality, you know, on ceilings everywhere. I want to cover the walls with that quality, cool art. That's all I ever wanted to do from the second I ever, from the second I went to college and I saw Renaissance art history. That's all I have ever tried to do. And that was like 88, right? So I haven't stopped trying to do it. And now this comes along where everyone's just showed me the shit which I want to do and opening up these new things, and it's fun. It's an adventure. It's like, man, this is all I ever wanted. Like, seriously, like, cup runneth over with glory and happiness. Yeah, and it's like, I'm not religious or anything, but it's like I have so much faith, and I never go to church, and the Bible, I get it, I don't know. I just don't know any of that stuff, but I don't worry about it, It's like, all I ever want to do is art. That's me. It's like, kill me, but I'm still going to do art. It's like, you can't stop that energy. It's like, it's always going to go, and I haven't sold a goddamn thing, but just, I don't even care. I don't even have to prove it to anyone. I don't care. It makes me happy, and I'm never going to stop doing it, and everything is supporting my fantasy. Oh, my God. One thing. Okay, like the whole idea of the cities being there before the people. Okay, so before Walt introduced me to the work of Martin, right, before I even went down the mud flood rabbit hole, to get to sleep at night, I would have this little fantasy daydream, right, where I created a parallel universe. And in that parallel universe, I created a city out of big blocks of white marble, and I planned it out in my head. And then an entire mountain, what was a city, and it had elevators and spires and it was a cool big castle. And, and then I brought in people from this fucked up dimension, right? From this dimension, I brought them in through portals to my nice new world. And I settled them in there. And whatever, there might have been some boobs involved somewhere down the line. But overall, the fantasy was, we could start over a nice new world. And then this conspiracy theory pops up. That's exactly the same as my fucking fantasy, for God's sake. The literal fantasy I had to get me to sleep. It was just an innocent little fantasy, right? I'm like just playing like a game in my mind, right? To get to sleep, I always fall asleep after 5 minutes of planning out some streets and stuff. And then now it's true. And now I find out. And, my fantasy is there weren't any people there. I brought the people in. I made the buildings because I was like the god of the reality, right? So that's why I think that's the way it is in the macro universe, if that's my mini universe. Okay, over and out.
Well, no sooner did you say his name, but our buddy Martin just popped right into chat. So,
yay!
How awesome is
that? Yay! I'm a fan. Martin fan, number one. Martin, very, very good. I love Martin.
And I quote, Martin says, Walters telling him Messer loves his shit.
Hey.
Love you, dude. Love you, dudes. Love you too, Martin. Glad you're in the chat, my friend. Come hang out with us again soon. We never get enough hanging out with you. As Daz says, man, what else do you need? A little mud flood and it's all a good day.
Well, see, Martin, he's like the top guy. It's like, that's like the top guy. And it's like, then you get a couple of other, like, really good quality guests. And then you get just people out of the woodwork that you never see anywhere else. They've got to tell you this thing. It's to smoke people. And then they vanish like a smoke person. It's like they're lost in their little conspiracy worlds. But, it's not, what's more interesting visually, a smoke person or, a giant glorious building with a 9,000-foot spire and stuff? That's pretty inspiring because it's a spire. It's inspiring. I figured something out. I'm cool like Martin. Please let me be cool.
Always hidden in the language. Always. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Seems
dude,
to be,
for sure. For sure. And there's other amazing people out there doing great research. John Levi, Wooden Nichols, who cuts up and makes me laugh almost every video, but I always wind up back at Martin. It's like going home, like you said.
Yeah, and what about that infiltrator, Plain Truth, getting on the Tartarian kick, spreading the good news? What about that guy? It's cool. It's like it's cool. It's fun. It's steampunk. It's romantic. It's awesome. Yeah, and we're lucky to have so many. I mean, there are so many cool people. You know what I did in between doing my job? I spent all day making Wooden Nichols fan pages on my art blog, DazTartarian.com. All day. It's like Wooden Nichols fan page. And then I like screwed something up. I'm like, screw it, I'll do it again. And then it wouldn't load. And I did it again. I'm like just half-ass doing it when I'm trying to do my job, right? And I'm doing this Wooden Nichols fan page because I'm such a fan. He's just like the best. So, you know. But all you guys are, all of them. Like UAP, I mean, it's the quality level.
Absolutely. UAP rocks for sure.
I mean, it's just amazingly good. I don't even know. I get lost from one presenter to the next. I'm just down a rabbit hole. I seem to watch Wooden Nichols more than anything, though. I've watched his, like, the one with building the bridges, the Williamsburg Bridge. God, that is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. That literally is the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. I don't know why. It's just, I literally laugh my ass off every time I see it. You know, that History Under Review, you got to see History Under Review, Wooden Nichols, and the supervisors and the wood, and, you know, I mean, you just say, after you watch it and you hear the word wood, you'll laugh every single time. And it's like, wouldn't you want to laugh every time you hear the word wood? And it's not sexual at all. It's something completely different, which is even more funny. But yeah, I mean, shit. And it's all because of Walt and Josh and Zach, who we love a whole lot. Hey, if Martin's there, hey, Martin, if you're listening, okay, so say the cities were there, you know, before the people. You know, God created all the circuit board cities. And then, you know, each building generates its energy, you know, circuit board, yada, yada. So what actually is the flow of electrons if it's a computer, right? Well, if it's a mechanical world, the flow of electrons would be a repeating pattern, you know, like a clip-clop of a horse and buggy, or a soldier marching, clump, 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 clip-clop, clip-clop, going from one part of where the building is to another building, you know, on a circuit, and just going around and marching around the square. Do you get it? You know, I think in some of those movies, like that 1915 Birth of a Nation restored, you know, speed footage thing, where those soldiers, those Civil War soldiers are walking down the street, I think they're robots. Ollie says no. I'm like, yeah, they're marching double time down the street, you know, with guns on a sidewalk where there's civilians going fast, and they're like these big, tall robots, and they have like that Tin Man look. Get this, right? So you know how like the Tin Man has this traditional kind of face, and then and then you've seen these robots where it's just like a mask, and it's like a bronze mask, and it's frozen in a robotic, you know, it's a humanoid shape, but it's a thing kind of like the gray alien face where you know it when you see it. It's like, oh, that means that. Okay, there's like an Antiquitech robot type face. So I think face, I think some in the background of a lot of things, like, you know, you see Civil War soldiers, and you see like these chauffeurs and domestics and things, and, you know, and they're all so, you know, good looking, and this isn't like black people are so beautiful. I mean, I'm not racist. Black people are beautiful. Same, blah blah blah. But I think some of the darker skinned, bronze skinned people literally are bronze. I think they literally are bronze people. I think they're mechanical people. I think some of the racism bullshit is because there were some bronze people who were not pale skinned people, because they literally, their faces were made of metal. They were mechanical men. And I think some of that racism came out of that literal thing right there. If that makes any sense. Maybe I'm just way off in left field, but I've noticed it several times. I'm usually pretty intuitive on something that looks weird, like soldiers marching double time on a sidewalk in peacetime. That doesn't happen in real life. There's something weird. but it's a movie, it's staged. But all this other thing, the robot, the mechanical men, the whole steampunk thing, and history, Talos, the bronze giant, bronze features, bronze faces. Weren't the Native Americans classified? They've got bronzed features or something. Isn't that? And then, a phrase they use. Am I way off field here? Sorry if I offended anyone. I didn't mean to.
No, that's a different take for sure. I know, as you said, Talos back in the day was like ancient robots before there was supposed to be such a thing, for damn sure. And then I've not looked at any of this area. I know we've had way more advanced robotic technology than anyone has a clue about. I've seen some crazy articles and some interesting old photographs, but I've never taken it back that far. Of course, right? I never would have thought we had video machines in the 40s and 30s and shit like Martin has uncovered. So, yeah, at this point, dude, I don't say anything's not possible.
Well, there's a difference between robotics and mechanical men. I think these are mechanical men. They're robots, they're androids, whatever, but they're purely analog. There's no processor, there's no anything like that. They're just so sophisticated. Maybe
think about the suits of armor that there's no way a human could be in. I mean, I know Martin's looked at the idea of it being worms, and I don't discount that. We've seen the statues, we've seen the artwork.
Sure.
But hell, fill up some of those freaking suits with the right steampunk crap, and you've got a mechanical man going there. So,
I mean, it's
as I say it, Martin types in the chat. Shout out, Martin. What's up?
It's like, why do you always see North Korea and Nazi Germany and all these places where they're jackboots and doing those clumpy steps, right? It's like, what's that all about? It's like the set of vibration of, dominance and fear and all that shit, right? So, I mean, it literally, that's how you get a scary vibration, just by kinetic energy, and that's mechanical. That has nothing to do with a computer processor. So you can set up a mechanical vibration, physical vibration, with millions of things. And think about this, the terracotta soldiers, right? Maybe some of them are actual real robots that are just covered with clay. They hid them. They're like, And then they made a couple to make it look like they're all hollow. But really, the rest of them are actual robots, and those are what built, Peking and Forbidden Palace and everything. The Great Wall of China. Maybe it was literally built by robots, because, why not? Robots. He's crazy. All he talks about
no
is
doubt.
robots.
Man, every time you start talking about the vibration, and I remember the soldiers that did it, but there's some story I read, and it just won't come. I can't find it. I don't remember what it was, but some story, and it was robots, and they were marching on a bridge, and someone somehow synced up their signal or their control mechanisms or something, and they all marched at the right rhythm and took down this bridge. And it was some science fiction story I read in my teenage years.
Of course.
And I cannot remember.
Jericho.
Well, yeah, so I know the Jericho, the walls, all that, but this was definitely a science fiction story. I just cannot remember what it was. It just won't come.
Didn't Nikola Tesla have just an oscillating weight that oscillated at different frequencies, and he was shaking his entire apartment building?
Yes.
This is one of those things they even did on Mythbusters, and created a little one and set it on a bridge and got the bridge to start moving or something. I vaguely remember there was a whole thing about that.
Exactly. I mean, the science is there. It's legit. You could cause a mud flood if you really had a big enough thing. You could liquefy the ground with mechanical resonance. Maybe if you had a giant big robot, you could literally do whatever. Imagine this. Okay, so here's a cool thing. So, all right, so a million years ago, back in the 70s, me and Martin used to read 2000 AD, where Judge Dredd came from, right? There was a story called Robusters, where, these robots, the robots are the good guys, right? They're like domestics. One guy is like a garbage collector robot, and the other guy is like an ex-ward robot, and they're just put into the service for this salvage company, and they're there, and they're like, but they get in all these wacky adventures, and there's this one story that always sticks with me. It hits the cockles of my cold, dark heart. There's this one domestic robot that always wears like this suit and tie. He's like a butler robot, right? And then there's like a spaceship crash. So Robusters, Rojaws and Hammerstein, the two robot heroes, are called in to like save these humans, and their robots and cargo and stuff for a steep fee from Mr. 10%, their boss. So they go in there and they uncover this conspiracy where this poor robot butler is being beaten by his human master. And it's so full of heart-wrenching thing. And you're like, this poor robot, he has to suffer this pain from this evil human. And so my heart went out to him. The end. Robusters. Oh, such a good story. 2000 AD. So, yeah, sentient robots are the comic books I used to draw. The Ajaxian Empire, sentient robots with a higher moral esteem than the evil humans and that they fought against. But the humans fought the robots in the interstellar reaches of space. Yada, yada, yada. No, space is not real. Thanks, guys. Took that away from me. Okay.
It's all good. It's spun out of control, but that's fine.
Sorry.
Well, I have totally been trying to dig up that story. I've typed in every freaking way of thinking of how I could find that story. It just won't come up. It'll come up sometime after the show. If I remember, I'll tell you guys about it this afternoon.
Well,
and I do remember the Tesla thing, like you were talking about too, Josh. I just, again, was doing too much live research here.
The other part of the whole manifesting reality is just let it happen. Just say, I want this. I don't care how I get it, and then just forget it and let it happen. You'll know it when you see it. Like I said, I want a job. I don't care what it takes. Just make it happen. And then I went and grew cucumbers for a couple of months, got unemployment, got more money than I would have had if I had worked anyway, and I grew cucumbers and got a tan, and then the opportunity to get my same job back, plus $1 million unlimited overtime. And so I took it, the end of the story, because I manifested it. It's real. It's true. And I did 1 million sit-ups. I'm going to have a six-pack. By Christmas, I'm going to have a six-pack. And I was a fat office slob that played World of Warcraft. But now I'm not, because you know what? I changed reality. And it doesn't matter. I'm a badass motherfucker, and you can be too. You already are. Maybe you don't believe it, but you literally can be a badass motherfucker if you want to be, or whatever, anything you want to be. You just got to believe it. True. Worked for me.
Love it, man. Make it happen.
They all live happily ever after. The next thing I'm going to do, so the next phase, if all this shit is real, I don't believe I'm going to go to Rainbow Body until I die. None of that is real. But I do believe I can teleport. The next phase is I'm going to teleport to a parallel dimension, and you can too. Let's all meet at the Repulse Bay Hotel in Repulse Bay, Hong Kong in 1978. Okay, Repulse Bay Hotel, Repulse Bay, Hong Kong, 1978. We're all going to meet there because we're going to teleport to this dimension. And I'll hang out and have a big party on the fucking beach. Lantern Festival Day. Lantern Festival, 1978, Repulse Bay, Hong Kong. We're all going to meet there. We're all going to teleport, transmute ourselves through time, whatever. We're going to be on the beach. We're going to light lanterns, and we're going to have a big party, and it'll be cool. Are you in?
Sounds like a plan.
Everybody in?
Let's do it.
I'm in Repulse Bay. I'm looking it up right now so I can make sure I've got it right.
We've only got a few minutes
Tartarian Hotel, right on the ocean, a crescent of beautiful yellow sands, surrounded by the Dragon's Back Mountain, which probably is old buildings. And I lived in the apartments over on the right. Well, actually, I lived in two different apartments there. Anyway, long story. So anyway, that's where we're going to meet. 1978, Repulse Bay, Hong Kong, at the Repulse Bay Hotel. The big white, you can't miss it. It's right there on the beach. There's the most beautiful building there. And there's a little castle off to the side. Of course, the castle. It all comes together. It's always there, always in front of my face. And we're going to go there and have a party like it's 1978. Yeah. Ramones, bring bring something. You can bring the Ramones there too. That'll be cool. Definitely got to bring Martin. He's totally got to go. Yeah, and Wooden Nichols and all you guys.
Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, Daz, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, and we have run almost out of time here.
I just wanted to say real quick before we go, there was an article on Gizmodo.com. It really struck my interest. Hell is in space, and it belongs to Russia, the Roscosmos chief says. This week, a team of researchers announced they've discovered traces of phosphine in the atmosphere of Venus, a gas produced almost exclusively on Earth by anaerobic microorganisms, but the presence of which on Venus scientists currently don't understand. Dmitry Rogozin says who's the head of the state-run aeronautics corporation, Roscosmos, says that our country will be the first and only one to successfully land on Venus, Rogozin told attendees at the 2020 Gila Russia exhibition, according to Russia's state-run TASS news agency. The Russian spacecraft gathered information about the planet, and it's like hell over there. We believe that Venus is a Russian planet, Rogozin said. And it goes on a little bit more, and he says, I don't quite understand how to work in these conditions, Rogozin said. We are the leading foreign space agencies. We are seeing that the leading foreign space agencies are increasing their budgets. Going to hell just isn't as easy as it used to be. So just for anybody that asks, Venus is a Russian planet, and apparently that's where hell is. But I did want to try something. That last little state that going to hell isn't as easy as it used to be. I just want to try this real quick and see what happens.
Going to hell just isn't as easy as it used to be.
Oh, I thought that was actually going to be in Russian. Just a little bit of a Russian accent, though, on our AI voice generator. Anyway, this has been the Ironworks. Thanks so much, Zach. Thank you all. It's been an absolute pleasure. Love you guys. Yes.
Thank you, Zach. Love you guys.
We will see you all right back here this evening for an episode of Have No Sphere on the Iron Realm Media YouTube channel, or on Tuesday for another episode of this very show, The Ironworks on TFR. Love you. Bye-bye.
Fun. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.